Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another NTLkrayZ Productions. I'm your host, NTLkrayZ, bringing you a shoutcast on Desert Oasis. This is Game 4 of the GO4 Starcraft 2 number 36 final, played between the blue Protoss Stocke and the red Terran BratOK. Now, as I said before, this is Game 4, so that means there's a Game 1, 2, and 3, and I will be spoiling them in this video, so please pause it now and go rewatch the other three games. Ready? Pause. Alright, welcome back for those of you who had to go pause this video and watch the first three games, and if you didn't have to do that, well, thank you for sticking around for that short period of silence. Now, right off the bat, we have BratOK starting off a little funky. He is putting down a very early 9 racks and a 9, yes, ladies and gentlemen, I did just say 9 racks and 9 refinery. It does look like, though, this will be scouted, as we have a fairly early scout from our blue Protoss player, Stocke. Now, like I said, I'm going to spoil this. So Stocke did win the first 2 games using some very nice Colossus play. I was very, very happy to see that, and to see very, very well played Colossus. The second game, BratOK did scout it, but he never scouted it enough. And very nice. Stocke is gonna notice that the supply depot does come down late, so he will know that we will be having some very, very fast Reaper harass. Let's see how he prepares. But as I was saying, in Game 2, BratOK did scout the early Colossus, but was not able to counter it fast enough, as he was only able to get 1 Viking. I still believe he needed to get 2 Vikings in there. Now we do have what looks like to be a normal build for Stocke, as it doesn't look like he's going to do some very insane overreaction to this 1 Reaper coming up, as we see it right here. And let's follow this bad boy as it decides to go and wreak havoc on the Protoss. Now, for those of you who were in the beta, like I was, you will remember back in the day when Desert Oasis was a pain in the butt for anyone who had to face Reaper harass. And the reason why is I will show you as soon as this Reaper harass. Beautiful micro from BratOK, by the way. Able to keep this Reaper very much alive, only taking 5 points of damage. Can he get that Zealot? That will be huge if he can, as the other Zealot has not quite come out yet. It is a Stalker, excuse me, not Zealot. And how many kills does this? 5 kills. 6 kills. Oh, gonna get 7. 7 kills as the Stalker comes away, and it look like it's gonna pin it back here. Now, back in the beta, as I was saying earlier, this was not here. See how there's a gap right here? It is not a sheer cliff. There's a gap in there. Now, in the beta, that was... Oh, bad. I'm sorry. I was trying to figure out what was going on. It does look like the Zealot spawned right in the wrong spot and has to destroy its own pylon to get out. Luckily, it doesn't supply block him, but that could have been very, very bad. Now, Reapers were very effective during the beta, and the reason being, very nicely done by BratOK here, taking the Zelnaga Watchtower, by the way. Just get that extra sight. Does look like he's going to run into a Stalker here, but the reason being they were just so powerful is because this wasn't here, and you could just hop up, back and forth, and just snipe probes with 3 or 4 Reapers. Very nice juke coming from this Reaper. Able to quickly get around, although it is spotted by Stocke, and it does look like it will be able to, no, he's gonna leave it, and the reason being, he does have a Stalker here, which is now moving his way out to protect this side, although it does look like this Reaper is just gonna be locking down the expansion, making sure no expansion. Now, I'm kind of excited for the, next set in the new balance changes to this map. It does look like this is going to be shrunk, a little smaller. I think the Zelnaga Watchtower is not going to be able to give as much sight. I wasn't quite sure what that one means. It might mean just directional-wise. It might just shrink even more than it already is, as we have an abandoned command center down there. But the other big change, as we do have a slight push coming in, there is going to be 2 Marauders, which will be enough. They do not have slow yet. Very interesting. Are we going to get that? Doesn't look like it, as we are going straight for whoa! A very fast Thor, ladies and gentlemen. We are only about 5 minutes into this game, and we already have a Thor coming from BratOK. Very, very interesting play. We do have a Stargate. This is an extremely high-tech, very quick teching. As 5 minutes into the game, we are already seeing a Thor pop out for BratOK. Now, he was able to lock this down because of the Reaper harass. He forced his opponent. We do already have one Thor out. One Void Ray out, excuse me. Is this Void Ray going to be enough? We do have a medvac coming in, a Marine, and here comes the Thor. Is this Thor going to be enough, ladies and gentlemen? We need to see some SCVs starting to repair this Thor, as the Void Ray is charged up. It is going to be forced to fall back, as the Thor is able to do damage. Now this, ladies and gentlemen, I do not like how dangerous this is. Chasing down the Void Ray with the medvac. If that Void Ray had been charged, he could do exactly this and take down that medvac. This Thor does look like it's going to go down. Maybe not, as it is able to take out one Void Ray. Can this Thor that is this Void Ray now charged up take down this Thor? It does look like it's going to be able to. We are seeing a Viking come in. It is not in time to save. A fully charged Void Ray does tons and tons and tons of damage, ladies and gentlemen. So much damage. It is now no longer charged, as it is forced to fall back. Very, very interesting. But as I was saying, the new balance changes are going to be placing rocks, I believe, here, which will make this a much more defensible position especially for Zerg. So I'm sure the Zerg are very, very happy to hear about that. And I am happy for them as well, because I always like to see some very, very good Zerg play out there. I think Zerg are some of the most entertaining and and one of the most well-rounded races, and just they're very versatile and very maneuverable. I love watching a good Zerg player. We are seeing a fast expand, as I think I mentioned before. If not, I mention it now, from the Terran player, BratOK, as that Void Ray does quickly fall. Not Void Ray, excuse me, Viking. We do have Phoenixes coming in. That is, are we going to be able to do this? We are. It does look like we are repairing this. Or do we have 4? It does look like we have 4 SCVs on this gas. It does look like the Void Ray is going to be taken down by that one hero Marine, who will also fall. This is bad news for the Terran player, as we do have a bunch more energy, not quite enough for enough of the up and downness from the Phoenixes being able to graviton lift the SCV. Some very nice harass coming from both players, as we originally saw BratOK go for the Reaper harass into Thor, which I have never seen, but it was able to work somewhat for him, as though it does look like he had to shy away from the Thor play, as his opponent brought out the Void Rays very, very nicely, which Void Rays, if you don't know, are an extremely hard counter to Thors, as they can just get so much damage done once they're charged. You can sit him out right here, charge up on this, and by the time the Thor can get there, he's already charged and can just do tons and tons and tons of damage. Just like we're going to have a slight engagement here, as they are quickly able to fend off this one Void Ray and the escort of Phoenixes there. Very nicely done. Now, going over to the Protoss player, does look like he is taking his natural expansion. Does not look like BratOK has moved out yet, as he has let quite a bit of energy build up on this orbital command. He must not feel safe, and I honestly wouldn't if I was in his position. We do have weapons level 1 coming in for our Terran player, and it does look like this orbital command is going to run into some problems as he tries to take this natural. I love the positioning of these Phoenixes, as they're able to just immediately deny the expansion. Get some hits on it. It does look like these buildings are going to get caught in transition, taking a bunch of damage. We do have 4 Phoenixes, and a Phoenix can 1v1 a Viking. Very, very bad for these Vikings, as they are outnumbered 2-1. We do have a Maynard of probes coming in for the Terran player. We have Zealot Charge, Marine Combat Shields, and again, as I mentioned before, we do have level 1 weapons upgrade for the infantry. We do have a Templar Archives coming down, so that means we have a Temple Twilight Council, as I should have guessed from the charge, except I'm an idiot and I'm not thinking clearly today. We do have a robotics facility in here. I'm not sure if I've seen anything come out of it as of yet. We do have an observer, so that is very, very nice. Finding out where that observer is, though, will be the trick. It might very well... I don't see it anywhere in our Terran base as of yet, which is very, very interesting. Usually the observers are in his opponent's base. He might have just forgotten about it in all the micro that he was having to do over here, so it does look like we're going to have a slight engagement. As 4 Phoenixes come in, are they going to be able to pick off any of the medvacs? No, they're not, as the Marines stim up and are be able to push back these Phoenixes, as it does look like our Protoss player did lose a Phoenix in that engagement. We do have Storm being quickly researched, as well as another gateway going down. Going back to the production tab, we do have 3 more gateways in production. Level 1 weapons upgrade for our Zealot army, and we do have 2 photon cannons being placed over here to try and protect these very, very vulnerable gas geysers. And the reason they're so vulnerable is because you can just plop a siege tank here and have a have a Viking scout out. This is a higher terrain, and it is just so easy for a Terran player to just deny gas. So very, very nice, as these cannons are going to be able to hit this little bit of of rock there, keeping away any siege tanks. Although it does not look like we have any siege tanks coming into play. It does look like we have another command center coming down, as we have some more Phoenix harass. Let's just look at the kills on these Phoenix. 2 kills for this guy and 3 kills for that guy. Not ideal, but the one thing it has done is it has kept our Terran player on his toes and having to be maneuverable. And the reason that is because if he were to ever let the Protoss player into his back side, it could be huge. And can they take down that Phoenix? It doesn't look like it, as it barely got rid of the shields. And it does look like we're going to have a very heavy engagement here. The Marines stimming up a little early, I believe. I'd like to see a little bit later of a stim, although it does look like he decided to run away, as there's our observer, ladies and gentlemen, following this. He did see a tech lab go down, and we are going to be trying to take over this gold expansion, as our Terran player looks like he's about to do the same. So it very well might just happen that both players will be able to take it, as they're both trying to defend their gold. It does look like the Protoss player is going to push up on this right lane. I like that. It's very protective, very defensive of this gold expansion. The best way to defend an expansion as it is going up is to be aggressive with your units. Attack the lane that you're taking an expansion from, because it literally denies your opponent from counterattacking. As you can see here, we do have some probes coming out to scout, so we very well might see this command center go down, as we do have a very, very heavy micro engagement, as it does look like an EMP went down, taking down tons of these units. We do have an Archon forming up, very quickly taken down. The Archon here should be shot down. It does look like it's going to be able to get out in time, as this Viking was able to scout it and see. I would like to see maybe this warp prison beam up here and just spawn some zealots to try and take this out, especially while all this battle is going on here. It does look like the charged zealots are going to be able to take out this entire marauder force, as look at the health on these. We are red and orange, 3 life, 7 life, 50, it does look like it's being healed. Never mind, I was going to call that out, but it just moved too fast for my eyes to handle it. I have old people eyes, sadly. Thank you, Mom, for those horrible, horrible eyes. Oh, well. I love you, Mom, I truly do. And like I said, I'd love to see some zealots down here. He's going to have to cancel, and it does look like he might have to... Ooh, we do have a planetary fortress. I did not catch that. Very, very nice. We have level upgrades, level weapon 2. and weapons level 2 for both going up at about the same time, honestly. I just saw them both pop up. Excuse me, I'm a liar. This has been going on for